Thanks for joining us. Now, executives of the Ghana Football Association are currently locked up in an executive council meeting over the damning expose by Anas Anas in his latest investigative piece, number 12. A visit to the premises of the FA this morning revealed a lot of number moving in and out of the compound. These are state security operatives, as we suspect. Now, Joy News' Komla Adum has more. That reports from Komla in a moment, but let's cross over live and get some more from Komla himself. Komla, do you know where this meeting is taking place? Apologies for the lack of sound there. We'll go back to Komla shortly now. In other news, an Accra High Court has turned down a request by a China-based company, BXC, asking that it halts the ongoing Electricity Company of Ghana ECG concession process. The Millennium Development Authority, MIDA, has justified its disqualification of the company, saying there was potential conflict of interest because of the existence of prior contracts between ECG and BXC. BXC then dragged MIDA to a commercial court, accusing it of acting in an arbitrary manner without basis. They asked for damages of $4 million, which it contends was money it expended on preparing and submitting its bid, as well as an indefinite injunction on MIDA from going ahead with the concession process. Lawyers for MIDA opposed the application, saying that the company had no rights that had been breached, requiring the court intervention. High Court Judge Justice Jerome Nkrumah in his ruling said irredeemable consequences will befall ECG and the state if the court granted the injunction. Justice Nkrumah explained MIDA and ECG had timelines to meet to access funding emanating from the compact. He quizzed what will be there to bid for if those timelines are not met. He added that the company could be compensated in monetary terms if it loses the substantive case challenging its disqualification. Now, CEO of Advanced Body Sculpt Center, Dr. Obeng Ando, has pleaded not guilty to charges of operating an unlicensed medical facility and practicing medicine without a license. He was slapped with these charges last week after he had been remanded by the Accra Central District Court for the alleged murder of Madam Stacey Ofedakon, a Deputy Chief Executive Officer of the National Entrepreneurship Innovation Plan, NEIP. He, however, could not show up at the court for his plea to be taken with his lawyers, explaining he was unwell. Joy News' Joseph Akable was in court and joins us via phone with more. Joseph, do we know why Dr. Dominic Obeng Ando was unable to be in court today?
Wait.
So watching Joy News today. Apologies we could not get Joseph in that story. Let's take these important messages. We'll be back with more. Joining us today. Thanks for staying with us. Let's cross over live to my colleague Komla Adum now, who is at the premises of the GFA where that meeting is taking place by the Executive Council of the Association. Komla, what more can you report from there?
Well, Daniel, I can report that this material moment, some staff of the Football Association are in the Football Association premises, going about their normal activities. But we understand that executive committee meeting, which was supposed to happen today, is currently underway, but not in the premises of a Ghana Football Association. We are told by our sources that it's happening, but in an unknown location at the moment. So at the moment here at the Football Association premises, it's business as usual. We are told staff are in there working. Some keep going and coming out of the premises. And the security presence is still maintained here. If you can see in the shots, the police van, which came earlier in the day, stationed right in there, had about 4 police officials, and those officials are still here at the football premises, Football Association premises. Earlier, Daniel, I can report that Madam Linia Adi was seen driving out of the premises. Former Galka president Alhaji Raji was also seen driving out of the premises, as well as some other ex-officials of the Ghana Football Association and the Executive Committee of the Football Association. But as at the moment, I can tell you that that meeting is happening, but not here at the Ghana Football Association premises. And also, Daniel, we are learning that the reason why the police are here is to ward off a potential attack. We are told that some individuals had threatened that they were going to besiege the premises of a football association today, and that is why the police presence is still maintained here as of now, as we still speak. So at the end of that meeting, which is happening at the unknown location, a decision is expected from the Football Association, Daniel.
Right, but Kobla, have you been able to speak to any of the staff members, and what have you picked from them?
Well, I spoke to some of the staff off record. I mean, they would not want to go on record, but they tell us that they will pull through this also because they've come a long way. They've been numerous allegations of this nature against officials of the FA, but on all those occasions in the past, those allegations have come to naught, and so they are confident that officials of the FA who have been cited in this investigative report will come out unscathed at the end of the day. They are still throwing their support and all their weight behind these embattled officials of the FA. That's what they've been telling me, but of course they wouldn't say that on record. Right,
thank you very much, Komla Dom, for that report. Let's come back to the studio now, and Joy Sports' Benedict Owusu was at the premises this morning and joins me in the studio. Benedict,
yes,
you are very much in touch with the sports community. What is the reaction to that statement by government yesterday that they're taking steps to dissolve the Football Association?
Well, I mean, it's one that people have welcomed, especially the majority, those that have been calling for this for only God knows how long, because people have this perception that there is corruption at the Football Association, but anytime you go and you ask, they tell you that you don't have evidence, so it becomes difficult for you to prove. But since the video was premiered, you know, the talk and everything that is going on in town is that the Football Association should be disbanded, which is not that simple for government to do. So that's why government says, well, they are taking steps, and in taking steps, they would have to speak to FIFA and speak to CAF and see the way forward. So in that case, then they will not incur the wrath of these organizations, because the Football Association is not under government, but rather is a member association of FIFA and CAF. So if FIFA should take a decision, then you know that it's going to go down to whatever we are doing here. But you know, you were talking to Komla. I'm just coming from the Football Association's head office.
So what's
the bit about the security, earlier there were reports that some security officials had been instructed by government to go to the FA and lock the place, sack every worker there. That's not true. I mean, I spoke to the security officials myself, and also some members of the federation, the staff. Well, the security officials are telling me it was the FA rather that called them to come and protect them. Yesterday, they got information that some supporters wanted to come and vandalize the place, but they needed more security men, because at the office they have 2 security guys, and they needed more security men. That's why they called the police. So when I got there, I saw Komla. So the journalist, it's not only Komla, there are other media personnel also there. They didn't even allow them to enter, but I got the opportunity to enter. And from everything that was going on, they are working. I got the opportunity to go to the communications department, and they are working. They were even going through appointment of match officials for the Women's FA Cup this weekend, and they were going through with the activities. I got to the other side as well, where everybody was in office and they were working. It was a very calm atmosphere, very calm.
Right.
But there is also another thing about the meeting. So I asked about the meeting, and I was told there was no meeting at the Football Association. But I gathered that the meeting is currently ongoing in a hotel here in Accra. The meeting between the executive committee members, which I understand that the president is chairing that meeting.
That's President Kwesi Nyantakyi.
Yes, please.
Is chairing that meeting.
That's what I understand.
We understand that some of the persons who were seen in the video number 12 were at work today. Were you able to see any of them? Were you able to interact with any of them?
But when I got there, the first point of call was at the communications department, and I met some members of the communications department. All the people that I met there were people that were not in the video. Ibrahim Sanida was seen in, but I didn't see him there. I also did not see Linyadi. The AA Lawal obviously is a member of the executive committee, so if there is a meeting going on and the meeting is not at the FA, you don't expect me to see him there as well. So the officials that were mentioned, I didn't see any of those officials at the FA. Mind you, it's only Ibrahim Sanida who is a staff of the FA. Linyadi is not a staff of the Football Association. He is a member of the committee, and if you're a member of a committee, does not mean you're a staff of the federation. You don't necessarily
have to be there.
Yeah, and you don't have an office, so you only will go to the FA if there is a meeting in a boardroom, or probably maybe there is something that you have to do. They don't have a permanent office, as in you go in and you sit at your table and you work. They all have their respective works. They do. Ibrahim Sanida has his own office.
But have you seen or spoken to any of these guys?
Well, I've spoken to some of them. I mean, yeah, some still say that whatever we saw in the video is not true. That was not it. They have different stories to tell with what we saw in there. And even apart from the Football Association officials, I've heard an interview of Frederica, the spokesperson of the National Sports Authority, who says everything in the video is not true. For her, the person came with one guy called Aqua, who used to work with Accra Heart of Oak, and they came to her to help them, to help one guy secure visa, I think, to Germany. And she told them bluntly that this is not something she can help, but she will see what she can do. But says in the process, when they were leaving, the guy said, oh, then you take something small, because you've been so nice to us since we got to your office, so just take something small, and later when you're able to do something, maybe we'll come here and see you. And she said she even declined. She said she didn't want to take the money, but they forced the money on her. And after that, the aqua guy that brought the gentleman who gave her the money later came for the money. So that's her word against the video we saw.
Oh, okay. So she's saying she took the money.
She took the money.
And one of the people came for it later.
Yeah, one of the people came for it later.
Interesting.
Very, very interesting.
Interesting. Thank you very much, Benedict, for bringing us that insight. He is with Joy Sports, and you want to stay with Joy News for the latest on this particular incident. Now let's go to the Brong-Ahafo region. This man parked his car at his house after work, only for it to disappear the next morning. That's the shocking story of Charles Amwakohini, a 53-year-old worker of the Volta River Authority in Sunyani. About a month later, Amwakohini came out of a Melcom shopping mall in Sunyani only to see his car parked in the car park of the mall with a changed number plate. He later found out that one soldier, Sergeant Abaya, of the 3BN in Sunyani with the service number 196612, brought the car to the mall. Watch this.
Charles Amwakohini's Toyota Corolla with registration number AS946309 was stolen from his Kumasi residence on 26th March 2018. On 21st April 2018, when Charles saw the vehicle at the mall, and with a spare key on him at the time, he quickly drove it to the Brong-Ahafo Regional Police Command in Sunyani to report. The police joined him and drove back to the mall to meet the soldier who had parked it there. Upon interrogation, Sergeant Abaya of the 3BN in Sunyani alleged that the car dealer gave him the vehicle to use for a while after he had paid 8,000 Ghana cedis for a different car, which was yet to be delivered to him.
When the car was stolen or was apprehended, he said and claimed that the mechanic gave him the car because he had taken his car away to repair it. But later events proved that he didn't owe any Jaguar car, but rather he wanted or expressed interest in the Jaguar car to buy, but he didn't pay even a cedi to the owner. So the owner came for the car, and that the said Jaguar car doesn't belong to him, but rather he bought my own car at 8,000 Ghana cedis. But because it had backfired, that is why he's claiming that it was given to him by the mechanic to use temporarily. And so far, he has not been able to lead the police to arrest that mechanic.
The Regional Crime Officer, Chief Superintendent Nana Kwekudua, told Joy News that the complainant, after reporting them to the Attorney General's Department in Sunyani, has been referred to the Menchia Police, where he first reported the case. The complainant is, however, unhappy about the manner in which the case is being handled.
I have the fear because on the day that the car was intercepted, even they didn't put him even behind bars, even says they just allow him to go until later he was informed, his command was informed before they released him. So I know that because he's a soldier man, that is why they are dragging their feet. So I am not confident in the police in doing a thorough job for me to get justice done.
The vehicle is currently parked in Charles's office while he and Sergeant Abaya continue to assist the police in investigations.
Still watching Joy News today, I am Daniel Daze. Still to come, Ghana Education Service begins investigations into a viral video capturing two teachers angrily ripping apart the shorts of a student of the Concession Technical Institute. The details of that and more coming up shortly. Don't go anywhere. Joining us today. Thanks for staying with us. Now, some dedicated teachers in Ghana, driven by the passion they have for their jobs, go out of their way to solve the problems confronting their pupils and inhibiting teaching and learning. At the Verimpia Methodist School in the Wa West district of the Upper West region, the teachers there, in an attempt to salvage the deplorable learning environment where the school building is on the verge of collapse, decided to construct a makeshift structure using corn stalk. The new structure is, however, not without its problems. As Joy News' Upper West correspondent Rafiq Salam, visibility in the corn stalk structure is very poor and also houses dangerous reptiles.
The Verimpere Methodist Primary School has a population of 598 pupils, comprising 510 in the primary section and 88 at the kindergarten. The only 3-unit classroom block for the entire school was constructed 13 years ago. The school's headmaster, Yakubu Abbas, explains only 3 classrooms have lessons there.
Because we have classrooms which are still temporary, those things we consider to be our classrooms, which are holding only P6, P3, and then P2 for the moment. Those are the classrooms we can think of now. And with the current population, only 150 pupils are using the 3 classrooms out of the 598. Then that is the situation of the infrastructure as of now. Yeah.
The visible cracks and gaping holes in the building, the result of a fig tree crashing into it during a rainstorm, has rendered it extremely unsafe.
We have a lot of fears, especially when it is threatening to rain. We will have to combine all the students in one class. That is the P6 class. That is the only class we can think of which is was a complete class. If not, the rest are still having cracks and then a lot of inconveniences in the classroom.
An office located at the extreme end, where the staff sit to prepare for lessons and also used to house teaching and learning aids, was also destroyed in the storm. The opening in the ceiling now serves as an abode for birds.
There are type of bats in that office. We have tried all our possible best to spray them, but whenever we chase them out, before we return back from holidays, they are already in. So that one too is a challenge. Because of that, almost all my staff members are always outside there sitting down, because the office is not convenient or health-wise good for them. We have been distracted by the smell and the sound. So both of them is a challenge to us here.
What about droplets?
They are dropping a lot of droplets on the grounds, and then they are, what's the name? When they hatch you, a lot of, what's the name? Their younger ones disturb a lot.
The cornstalk structure easily be mistaken for local
Definitely a spirited attempt there by the teachers. Now let's stay with education, because the Director General of the Ghana Education Service has directed or invited the headmaster of the Mankasim Senior High School for interrogation. This follows a video that has gone viral showing two teachers of the school stripping a student of his school shorts. The teachers allege the 17-year-old students refused to remove an unprescribed school uniform after several warnings. Richard Junyako has been investigating the issue and joins us on the line. Richard, tell us more about this student.
3 weeks ago, the school had an entertainment program, and the boy in question, the 17-year-old boy, is the assistant entertainment prefect of the school. According to the teachers, this boy has been warned on several occasions to desist from wearing the shorts. And according to the school, the shorts that the students in the school, most of them wear, they are unprescribed. What they do is that when the school uniform is given to them, they go and then they they go and do some alteration. And so it fits and tightens them. And in some occasions, it reveals their manhood and other parts of their body. It draws in the shorts. And so the school has taken some stringent steps against these. But the boy in question, after several warnings, decided not to do that. And so the teachers got infuriated and decided to strip him off that one. So they decided to use, as you saw in the video, they decided to use some scissors to cut open the short so that he would walk using the boxer short that he was wearing. And so this matter has not gotten down well with the father of the student, Mr. John Mensah. Mr. John Mensah is saying that he's going to petition the Children and Social Protection Ministry because the child has been abused, has been embarrassed, and if the child had even done something untoward, that was not the right procedure or method that the school authority should have used to embarrass and abuse the child. And he says that the boy got injured in the process. I've also been speaking with the Municipal Directorate of Education. He says that the school, the headmaster and the teachers have been summoned by the Director General of the Ghana Education Service and the Municipal Directorate as well. And at the moment, they are done with the disciplinary committee report on this issue, and it will be forwarded to the Municipal Directorate of Education, where an action would be taken. So if the students, if the teachers deserve some sanctions, they will sanction the teachers, and they would also want to wait to hear the side of the students why he had to do what he did. Because if measures are not taken into consideration, discipline in the school would break down. So according to the Municipal Director of Education, Martha Aqua, that is the explanation she has been given by the school authorities and the teachers in question.
Right. Have we been able to contact the school authorities or the teachers themselves?
At the moment, when I went to the school, Mankasim Secondary Technical School, the school is on midterms because the BEC exams are taking place in the school, and so they asked the students and the teachers to go home and return next week. So there is no activity currently ongoing in the school, and our attempt to get to the head teacher proved futile. But the district directors of education told us the side of the school, what she has been told by the head teacher and the student when he invited them. Is there any history of unreasonable behavior from the staff or the students of the school in the name of discipline? Yes, exactly. The Municipal Director of Education explains that the school is becoming quite notorious, and so that is why the teachers will have to stamp the authority on the ground. The students do whatever they like because Mankasim is a very big area. People come from all sort of places to the school, and so even when they were writing the WASI exams, the just WASI exam, they had to write some of the papers under police protection because some of the students threatened to beat up the teachers and to cause some confusion in the school. And so there is a need, and because what the teachers did was not really appropriate, he says that she indicates that if care is not taken to, discipline will also break down. And so they will sit down and then have an amicable solution to this matter that has arisen. Thank you very much, Richard. Now, as you heard Richard Kojunyako speaking there, father of the student says he will petition the Gender and Social Protection Ministry
on the matter. Now, he told Joy News that the boy got injured in the process. We'll get more from the father of the students who you just saw on the phone. Hello, sir. Good afternoon. What did your son tell you as being his offense? Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Hello?
Yeah, I want to find out, sir, what did your son tell you as his offense, which warranted this action by the teachers?
Please, can you speak louder a bit?
Yeah, I was asking, what did your son tell you was the reason why he was, subjected to such treatment?
As I speak with you, I'm the father of Gregory Atume's, but I am in Kumasi, and the boy is with the mother at basic room, and he's schooling at Concession sector. So about 2 weeks ago, the mother called me and reported this incident to me, and actually the mother had wanted to report the issue to the police, but I'm also a teacher, so I tried to cool the temper of the mother and asked her to send the boy to the hospital first, for which the mother did so. And so I tried to get in touch with the school authorities and find out exactly what happened. I had the number of the assistant head teacher of the school, whom I called. And that very day I called him. He told me he was preparing for an interview, so he will call me back the next day. The next day I called him again, and he said, unfortunately, the head teacher of the school wasn't in school, so they've not been able to meet on the issue. So he promised to call me after they've been able to meet. And so after 3 days, I called again, and the assistant headmaster told me they have been communicating with my wife, that is Gregory's mother. And I called my wife, and my wife said, no, he hasn't heard anything positively from the school. And so that made me to call the assistant headmaster again and told him, in fact, look as if they are not taking steps to address the issue. So I am going to take the matter up. And so I contacted one or two people on the issue. In fact, when I look at the footage, I became very furious the way the boy was treated. Even if the boy has done anything wrong, or if the boy has won any unprescribed attack, is that the procedure as teachers to use knife, and the boy was hurt in the process.
How was he hurt?
The teachers used knife to cut the shorts, and in the process, the boy struggled with them. If you look, if you have the video, the boy struggled with them, and in the process, the boy hurt.
How was he hurt?
The knife cut the boy.
What part of his body?
The hand.
His hand?
Yeah.
And so after he was taken to the hospital, how is he faring?
Oh, she's now okay. She's now okay.
Right, thank you very much, John Mensah. John Mensah is the father of the 17-year-old boy who was jostled by his teachers and had his shorts ripped off, as you saw in the video there. Let's cross over now to the University of Ghana and speak with MFA Nancy Dradosi. Now, the University of Ghana is the venue for the National Science and Maths Quiz this year. The competition itself begins on Monday, but we understand that there are currently a number of activities ongoing this week. Let's go over to MFA Dradosi and find out what is happening now. MFA, what's the atmosphere like at the University of Ghana now?
So, that's all I can say.
Hello, MFA. Hello, MFA.
Hello, Daniel.
Right, it's very difficult to hear you now. If you can raise your voice so we can hear you. Hello, MFA. Okay, so we'll join MFA. She's at the University of Ghana, like I said, to get the latest on the National Science and Maths Quiz. But President Akufo-Addo is currently in the Western region, and Natalia Kwanzaa joins us on phone. Let's speak to her. Natalia, I understand the President is in Bibiani for 3 days. Hello, Natalia. Right, unfortunately, we're unable to join Natalia. Let's go to Emefa Dradosi, who is at the University of Ghana. Emefa, what can you report from the premises of the National Science and Maths Quiz?
Most of the schools who are going to the National Science and Maths Quiz are all here at over at the University of Ghana. We know that the going to be part and on Monday.
Hello, Emefa.
Hello, Daniel.
Yes, if you can hear me, raise your voice. It's difficult to hear you on this end.
Okay, so then all I'm saying is that all the schools that are participating in the National Science and Maths Quiz, most of them are here at the Athletic Oval at the University of Ghana. Now, what is happening is the science that is organized by prime time anytime they're about to have the National Science and Maths Quiz. So it's not only high school students who are present here at the festival. I've seen, data students, I've seen people who are even in the university who are doing all of this. And so I want to get closer and speak to one of
Emefa, thanks very much. We will not be able to continue that. Thank you. And apologies there for the poor quality of that phone call. You're still watching Joy News today with Daniel Daze. We'll go on the other line and speak with Natalia Kwanzaa, who is in the... Okay, so we'll not be able to speak to Natalia Kwanzaa. We'll take a break and then business join shortly.